This year's Harvest Fair is scheduled, I believe, for October 21st. Is it the 21st? And we'll be having it at the Knights of Columbus Hall. And we're very anxious for people to show us their gardens. How did their garden grow this year? If they can start taking pictures and perhaps share them with us online or bring them to the office or fax them to us. And we'll have them on display at the Harvest Fair. And perhaps we'll have contests like we did in the past, not on pumpkins because it got kind of, the intent got carried away. It was good to begin with, and after that we sort of like got away from it, and now we want to go back like we had before. There were people showing how to make cornbread. You know, a lot of people say, I want to learn how to make cornbread. It's not that hard, but you just got to know what you're doing. Generally, there's people that make pies, homemade jams, cakes, homemade knitted garments, handmade clothes. It's like sort of beadwork, like people that work hard on these things. There's a lot of work into crafts. People don't realize it. They see something for sale for $20 or $50. They'll say, oh my goodness. But you have no idea what goes into the making of, and how precious, when you can learn, when you can work with your hands, how precious that is. So you can see a variety of foods, corn, different corn that we planted. Like originally, I think the Iroquois had 26 types of corn. We went from white, then for our cornbread, and then yellow, like sweet corn, and then now it's peaches and cream. But, you know, we had blue corn, red corn, a lot of different species of corn, so that if one corn got a virus or an illness, another corn would survive. Because I was talking to my mother about the potato famine in Ireland, that they only had one type of potato. And when that virus attacked that potato, their potato crop was wiped out. A lot of people starved to death, and that's when they came to our shore for help, and we helped them survive with all the foods, the variety of squashes that we had, corn, beans, variety of beans. So we had a multitude of species of foods, so that if one species got sick, one, like say brand, if you want to call it that, then another one would survive. So I think that's why our people survived like 14,000 years. It's carbon dated. It's a long time to go through what we went through and still be here and planning our harvest fair for October. And we had people said, you inspired me. I meet them at JoJo's. They were buying stuff to plant, and it's the first year we ever have a garden. And so even though we've been in existence since 1987, the Harvest Fair started in 1992. So we were almost in existence for 5 years before we started. But we were getting organized at that time, really organized, and we had an office. And we got our old office. We moved in there in 1991. And not long after that, we had a visit from the late Warren Deer, and he came into the office, and I was there with Carla Hemlock, and he wanted us to organize something where we could teach the children to plant, to start having interest in the environment, and he donated $200 to us, just like that. Here's $200. Can you girls put something together to help the community learn how to plant and take care of ourselves, and especially the kids. I'm so worried about the kids. He said, I'm trying to teach my children how to be survivalists, and he said, but a lot of people aren't teaching their children. So that was how we got started. And then we had our first Harvest Fair in 1992. At the Knights of Columbus Hall, and it was a big success. And we started with a pumpkin growing competition because that was the easiest thing. Pumpkins are so easy to grow. All they need is water and space. And so we started there, and then we had contests for preserves to encourage people to plant and make preserves and learn how to keep your food for the winter. I think Warren would be happy to see where we are today. We're not totally independent yet, but we're looking at our organic gardening for the future. Just having our people say, come look at the trees you gave us 10 years ago. I look at the garden. We have, we got so much extra food this year from our garden. We don't know what to do with it. I'm like, well, bring it with you somewhere and just give it away and share it with others that don't have a garden this year. So that's it for our harvest fair. How we began. That's in a nutshell. 20 years in a minute.